I created a new folder on my personal drive. Audit review, March 2024. I went through every email from the past 2 years, every message from my executive director, Stefan Lundgren, based in Brussels, my direct supervisor. I found 147 emails with attachments, budget proposals, vendor contracts, payment authorizations, service agreements. The pattern was consistent. He'd send the document, subject line, "Please review and provide analysis." I'd review it. I'd send back my assessment, revenue impact, budget alignment, risk factors. Never once did he ask me to approve anything. Never once did I sign anything. I saved every email, every attachment, every response I'd sent. Then I checked the approval authority matrix. It was published in the company's financial policies document, page 62. Financial analyst, review and analysis only, no approval authority. Senior financial analyst, approval up to 50,000 euros. Finance manager, approval up to 250,000 euros. Finance director, approval up to 1 million euros. Executive director, approval above 1 million euros. My role, financial analyst, no approval authority. Stefan's role, executive director finance, unlimited approval authority for European operations. I took screenshots. I saved everything to the folder. Then I looked at the 73 documents the auditors had flagged. I opened each one. I examined the signature field. They all had the same thing. Approved by Victoria Anderson, financial analyst, with a digital signature stamp, date, time. But I'd never created a digital signature. I'd never been issued signing credentials. I checked my system access. No digital signature certificate. No approval workflow access. I documented that too. Screenshots of my system permissions, my access levels, what I could and couldn't do. Tuesday, I worked normally. I attended my scheduled video calls. I completed my analysis tasks. I responded to emails. Stefan sent me a message at 3 p.m. Victoria, I saw your meeting with the auditors tomorrow. Just routine verification. Answer their questions honestly and we'll be fine. I replied, understood. Thank you. I didn't ask what he meant by will be fine. I didn't mention the signatures. I just acknowledged his message and continued working. Tuesday evening, I reviewed everything one more time. Then I prepared a simple document, a timeline. Date, document, my action, what actually happened. For each of the 73 flagged documents. March 2023. Vendor contract number 4482. Reviewed and provided cost analysis. Document shows my approval signature. April 2023. Purchase order number 8834. Reviewed and flagged budget concerns. Document shows my approval signature. May 2023. Service agreement number 2293. Reviewed and recommended alternatives. Document shows my approval signature. 73 entries. 18 months of data. The pattern was clear. I reviewed. Someone else signed. Using my name. Wednesday morning, I joined the video call with the auditors. 2 people. Lead auditor from the external firm and the company's internal audit director. The lead auditor spoke first. Victoria, thank you for joining. I'm Thomas. This is Caroline from Internal Audit. We're reviewing approval processes, and we have some questions about documents that show your signature. I'm happy to answer your questions. We've identified 73 documents with your approval signature. Can you confirm you approved these? No, I did not approve any of those documents. Silence on their end. I'm sorry, can you clarify? Thomas asked. I reviewed those documents. I provided financial analysis, but I did not approve them. I don't have approval authority. But the documents show your digital signature. I don't have a digital signature. I've never been issued signing credentials. I don't have access to the approval workflow system. More silence. I could see Thomas making notes. Can you provide documentation of your access levels? Yes, I've prepared that. I can send it after this call. Please do. Can you also provide the emails related to these documents? Yes, all 147 of them. Caroline spoke for the first time. 147? We only flagged 73. The flagged documents are the ones where signatures were added, but there are 74 additional documents where I provided similar analysis. Those don't show my signature. I can provide the complete set for comparison. Thomas nodded slowly. That would be very helpful. Can you send everything today? Yes. One more question. Who sent you these documents for review? My executive director, Stefan Lundgren. And did he instruct you to sign or approve them? No. He asked me to review and provide analysis, which I did. Did he ever discuss your approval authority? No. Thank you, Victoria. We'll review the materials you send and may have follow-up questions. The call ended. I sent the complete documentation package within an hour. Every email, every attachment, every response, the timeline, the access screenshots, the approval authority matrix. Then I waited. Thursday, no contact from the auditors, no emails from Stefan. I worked normally. Friday, Stefan sent a calendar invitation. Quick check-in, Monday at 10 a.m. I accepted without comment. The weekend passed slowly. I didn't check my work email. I didn't think about the audit. I just waited. Monday at 10 a.m., I joined the call with Stefan. He looked tense. Victoria, I wanted to talk about the audit. The auditors are asking questions about approval processes. They seem confused about some documentation. What kind of confusion? They're questioning signatures on certain documents. I told them our processes are sound, that everyone follows proper protocols. I see. They asked about you specifically, about your role in reviewing budget requests. I spoke with them Wednesday. I explained my role. What did you tell them? That I review documents and provide analysis, that I don't have approval authority. He paused. Right, that's technically accurate. But you understand that when you provide your analysis, that's effectively an approval, right? Your professional opinion carries weight. My analysis is advisory. It's not approval. The approval authority matrix is clear about that. The matrix is just a framework. In practice, we rely on expert judgment from analysts like you. I understand, but the documents the auditors flagged show my digital signature as the approver. I don't have digital signature credentials. Longer pause. The system might auto-populate that based on your review. I'll check with IT. The auditors asked me to provide documentation. I sent them my system access levels, and all the emails where you sent documents for my review. His expression changed, harder. You sent them internal emails? They requested documentation related to the flagged documents. The emails show what was requested and what I provided. Those emails are internal communications. You should have cleared that with me first. The auditors made a formal request. I'm required to cooperate with audit processes. We'll discuss this later. I need to go. He ended the call. I documented the conversation. Date, time, what was said. His suggestion that my reviews were effectively approvals. His concern about me sharing internal emails. Then I continued working. Tuesday, I received an email from Caroline, the internal audit director. Victoria, we're expanding our review based on the information you provided. We may need additional discussions with you in the coming weeks. Please continue to preserve all relevant documentation. I replied, Understood. I'm available as needed. Wednesday, I noticed my access had changed again. Several financial systems I normally used were no longer available. Budget planning tools, variance analysis reports, forecasting models. I documented it. Screenshots, error messages, timestamps. I didn't ask why. I just used the tools I still had access to and worked around the gaps. Thursday, Stefan sent another message. Victoria, I need you to focus on current quarter analysis only for the next few weeks. Pause any historical review work. Current quarter only. That meant no access to the historical data the auditors were reviewing. I replied, Understood. Friday, I received a calendar invitation from HR. Employment discussion. Next Tuesday at 2 p.m. No context. No agenda. I accepted. The weekend passed. I reviewed my employment contract. I checked the company handbook. I organized my documentation. Tuesday at 2 p.m., I joined the HR call. The HR business partner for European operations, and someone from legal I didn't recognize. The HR partner spoke. Victoria, thank you for joining. This is Martin from our legal team. We wanted to discuss some concerns that have come up regarding your cooperation with the external audit. What concerns? We understand you provided internal communications to the auditors without management approval. That's a potential confidentiality issue. The auditors made a formal request for documentation. I'm required to cooperate with audit processes. That's in the Employee Handbook, Section 12. The handbook requires cooperation. It doesn't require sharing privileged internal communications. The emails weren't marked as privileged. They were standard business communications about document review requests. Martin from legal spoke. The issue is that you made a unilateral decision to share internal materials without consulting your management chain. That shows poor judgment. I consulted the audit policy. It states that employees should provide requested documentation to auditors promptly and completely. That policy assumes the employee will use discretion about what's relevant. The auditors specifically requested emails related to documents I reviewed. I provided those emails. They were directly relevant. The HR partner jumped in. We're concerned about your understanding of confidentiality and appropriate professional boundaries. We're placing you on administrative leave while we review this matter. For how long? We'll determine that as the review progresses. You'll remain on full pay. We'll need you to return your equipment and disable your system access. When? Immediately. We'll send instructions for equipment return. The call ended. I sat at my desk. Administrative leave, full pay, equipment return. I documented it. Then I started backing up everything I needed, all my personal files, all my documentation about the audit. Everything was already on my personal drive, but I made additional copies. The equipment return instructions arrived an hour later. Ship the laptop to Brussels. Disable my VPN access. Effective immediately. I packed the laptop. I printed the shipping label. I drove to the courier office. Then I went home and waited. 3 days passed. No contact from the company. No emails, no calls. On the 4th day, I received an email from Thomas, the lead auditor, to my personal email address. Victoria, we've completed our preliminary review. We'd like to schedule a follow-up discussion with you. Are you available this week? I replied from my personal email. I've been placed on administrative leave. I'm no longer able to access company systems, but I'm available to speak with you. I have personal copies of all the documentation I previously provided. He responded within an hour. Understood. Can we meet Thursday at 10 a.m.? Video call. I confirmed. Thursday at 10 a.m., I joined the call. Thomas and Caroline. And someone new. A woman I didn't recognize. Thomas introduced her. This is Helen Morrison. She's the audit committee chair for the board of directors. Given our findings, we've escalated this matter to board level. Helen spoke. Victoria, thank you for meeting with us. We understand you're on administrative leave. Can you explain the circumstances? I was told I showed poor judgment in providing internal communications to the audit team without management approval. The communications about the document reviews? Yes. And you provided those because we requested them? Yes. Helen made a note. We've reviewed all the materials you provided. We have also examined the approval workflow system. We found something significant. She shared her screen. It showed a system log, administrative actions, user access changes, digital signature assignments. This log shows that digital signature credentials were created for your user account in February 2023. You stated you never requested or received these credentials. Is that correct? That's correct. The credentials were created by an administrative account, the same account that processed all 73 approvals using your signature. Whose account? That's what we're determining. The account has elevated privileges. Only 3 people in European operations have that access level. She didn't name them, but I knew one of them was Stefan. We also found something else, Helen continued. The 74 documents you mentioned, the ones where you provided similar analysis but where your signature doesn't appear, those were all approved using proper signatures from authorized approvers. What's the significance? The pattern suggests selective use of your credentials, only on certain types of transactions. We're analyzing which ones. Thomas spoke. Victoria, we need to ask you something directly. Did you ever raise concerns about any of the transactions you reviewed? Anything that seemed inappropriate or irregular? I thought back. Yes, 3 times. April 2023, September 2023, and January 2024. I flagged budget concerns or procurement process issues. What happened with those concerns? Stefan said he'd review them with the department heads. He told me the transactions were approved at higher levels for strategic reasons. And the documents where you raised concerns, do you know if those went through? I don't know. I only did the initial review. I wasn't part of the final approval process. Caroline pulled up a spreadsheet. We cross-referenced your timeline with our flagged documents. All 3 transactions where you raised concerns show your signature as the approver, despite your documented concerns. Helen leaned forward. Victoria, here's what we believe happened. When you raised concerns about transactions, someone used fabricated credentials in your name to approve them anyway. Your signature gave the appearance that you'd changed your assessment and approved the transaction. I stayed quiet. The administrative leave, Helen continued. Was that communicated by HR and legal? Yes. Did they give you a reason beyond the confidentiality concern? No. We'll be addressing that. In the meantime, we need you to preserve all documentation you have. Don't delete anything. Don't share it with anyone except this audit team. Can you do that? Yes. We'll be in touch. This investigation is now at board level. Your cooperation has been essential. The call ended. I documented everything. Then I waited again. 1 week passed. Nothing from the company. No HR, no legal, no Stefan. But I received a notification from the company portal. My access had been partially restored. Email only. Read access. I logged in. I had one new message from the board secretary. Ms. Anderson, the board has completed its preliminary review of the audit findings. We request your attendance at a board meeting on May 15th at 2 p.m. Brussels time. Video attendance is acceptable. This meeting will address findings related to approval process violations and your administrative leave status. May 15th was 1 week away. I confirmed attendance. That evening, I received another email from a law firm in Brussels, not the company's usual firm. Dear Ms. Anderson, we have been retained by the Board of Directors to conduct an independent investigation into financial control violations. We understand you have relevant documentation. We'd like to schedule an interview with you prior to the board meeting. I replied, I'm available. Please advise when. We scheduled for May 13th. May 13th arrived. I joined the video call. 2 lawyers, both partners at the firm. They asked detailed questions about every document, every email, every conversation with Stefan, my concerns about specific transactions, the timeline of events. They recorded everything. They took detailed notes. At the end, the senior partner said, Ms. Anderson, we want to be clear about something. You are not under investigation. You're a witness. The investigation is focused on individuals who had administrative access to create credentials and forge approvals. How many individuals? We can't discuss that, but we can tell you that the pattern we found extends beyond the 73 documents initially flagged. We're looking at several hundred transactions over a 3-year period. Several hundred? Yes. Total value exceeds 12 million euros. Your name appears on documents worth 4.7 million, but other analyst names appear on additional documents. We're interviewing them as well. Are they on administrative leave too? Some are, some aren't. The company's response has been inconsistent. That's part of what we're reviewing. The interview ended. May 15th, the board meeting. I joined at 1:55 p.m. I was placed in a waiting room. At 2 p.m., I was admitted to the main call. 11 people on screen. Board members, the CEO, the CFO, the general counsel. The board chair spoke. Ms. Anderson, thank you for attending. We've reviewed the findings from the external audit and the independent investigation. We have some questions for you, then we'll discuss our decisions. They asked questions for 40 minutes. Detailed questions about my role, my interactions with Stefan, my understanding of approval processes. I answered everything calmly, factually, no emotion, just information. Then the chair said, Ms. Anderson, we're going to excuse you for 30 minutes while we discuss next steps. Please remain available on video. I was moved back to the waiting room. 30 minutes passed, then 45, then an hour. At 3:45 p.m., I was admitted back to the call. The chair spoke. Ms. Anderson, we've made several decisions. First, your administrative leave is ended immediately. You're reinstated to full employment status with back payment for the leave period. Second, we're issuing a formal apology for the handling of your cooperation with the audit. The administrative leave was inappropriate. Third, we're offering you a choice. You can return to your current role with a new reporting structure, or you can accept a voluntary separation package with 6-month severance and a strong reference letter. If you choose to return, you'll report to the CFO's office directly, not through European operations management. We're restructuring that entire division. You don't need to decide today. Take a week to consider. I nodded. Thank you. I'll let you know by May 22nd. The chair continued. One more thing. The investigation found systematic approval fraud spanning 3 years. Multiple employees' credentials were forged. Total unauthorized approvals exceed 12 million euros. We're taking legal action against the individuals responsible. Who is responsible? We can't disclose that while legal proceedings are pending. But the European Operations Executive Management is being replaced, effective immediately. The meeting ended. I sat in my apartment, looking out at Stockholm Harbor, thinking about 6 months severance, about reporting to the CFO, about restructured management. I spent the weekend reviewing my options, making calculations, considering what I actually wanted. Monday, May 20th, I sent my decision. I accept the voluntary separation package. My last day will be May 31st. Thank you for the opportunity to work with the company. The response came within an hour. Understood. We'll process the paperwork. We wish you well. The severance package arrived on May 24th. 6 months' salary, approximately 78,000 euros. Strong reference letter, mutual non-disparagement agreement. I signed it. I returned it. The payment cleared on May 28th. May 31st, my last day, I received one final email from the board secretary. Miss Anderson, the investigation has concluded. Stefan Lundgren and 2 other members of European Operations Management have been terminated for fraud and policy violations. Criminal referrals have been filed. Your documentation was essential to the investigation. Thank you for your cooperation and integrity. I read it once. Then I archived it. I updated my resume. I contacted recruiters. Within 2 weeks, I had interviews with 3 companies. Within 4 weeks, I had 2 offers. I accepted the better one. Senior financial analyst. Different company. 25% higher salary. Clear approval processes. Strong controls. I started in July. New role, new team, new systems. 3 months later, I saw a news article. Financial fraud charges filed against 3 executives in Sweden and Belgium. Total damages, 14.2 million euros. Trial scheduled for next year. I didn't follow the trial. I didn't need to. Because the revenge wasn't about them going to jail. It wasn't about vindication. It was about staying silent, about documenting everything, about letting the audit trail speak for itself. They used my name to hide their fraud. I used their own records to expose it. The rest was just process.